kind of feel like doing my Tarot by Bronx intro today, so we gonna do that. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my channel, Tarot by Bronx. This is Tarot Talk. These are Tarot Tings, and I'm your host, Boogie. Boogie down Bronx. Hold on, my hair is sticking up. Oh, jeez. And I'm here to take care of everybody who is watching for the Gemini full moon reading, especially Gemini placements. Thank you for tuning in. All right. So I just got back on a vacation from a vacation. Kind of. Yeah, I'll say it's a vacation. But I just got back, so I'm feeling very well rested. I hope you guys are doing pretty good, feeling pretty good, and you ate good, and all the good things. So today, we're going to jump into the Gemini full moon reading, and it's also Mercury retrograde pre-shadow period. So this is going to be a pretty interesting time to close out the remainder of the year. First thing I want to do is shout out my Abundance Mindset shirt. This shirt is on my Etsy shop, and I will tag it below. I think it still should be on sale from Black Friday. I'm going into Cyber Monday, and then after that, everything's going back to full price. So y'all better get this before it goes. As well as I got a new earth sign mug that my mom and I designed, and it looks so good. I'm surprised how good it came out. Wow, it's so cute. But yeah, it can be gifted for somebody's name that starts with an E, or, earth sign. It doesn't matter. But yeah, so check out the mug. Hope you guys enjoy it. I have for the other elements as well, fire, water, and air. But yeah, so Geminis and everybody else, let's get into the reading. Let's see what's the energy for this Gemini full moon before we branch off into the other signs. All right, let's get some. Let's see, what do I want to start with? I think I'll start with, I like this deck. I really do. The Oracle of Pluto. If you haven't seen me use it, I've used it in a couple other videos as well. Let's see what this says. Alrighty. I'm trying to get my setup together because I'm using this as a DJ place now as well. So it's my tarot and my DJ stuff. So I may have to eventually get another desk for my DJing stuff separately because it's just too much back and forth. All right. Let's see. Oracle of Pluto. What's happening for this Gemini full moon? What can you tell me? Gemini full moon. What's the energy? Turkey. So this deck is I found it. We just had Thanksgiving and now we got the turkey card. Is that ironic? No. All right. Primal instinct, staying wild and free. There is a pronounced difference between a domesticated turkey and a wild one. Domesticated turkeys are notoriously dumb and homogeneous, while their wild counterparts are much more cunning. This juxtaposition highlights the benefits of staying wild and free on multiple levels, which is also reflected in the darker, more detailed plumage on turkeys found in the wild. As we move through life, we are confronted with many different messages about the way we're supposed to be. It's very possible that we have been given conflicting messages from different people. However, it's important to recognize that people love to project. We all do it from time to time, but others' expectations of us are really about them and have nothing to do with us at the root. This card is an invitation to get back in touch with your true essence, the wild spirit that you possess inside that only wants to be free. Who are you without the weight and projections of society, other people, your family, and your friends? Trust yourself and your instincts. Give yourself permission to just be and know that you are good enough just as you are. Further reflection. We can be whoever we want to be at any given moment. And indeed, there are many different hats that we must wear to successfully navigate different situations. However, at the base of all these versions of you is just you. And this person has carried you throughout every trial, tribulation, and victory. Celebrate that person. Show compassion to that person. Invite them to come forward and show up in whatever way feels most natural. Okie dokie. So that's the energy for the Gemini full moon. And that does make sense to me because we're in Sagittarius season, but full moons always happen opposite of the sun. Opposite sign of Sag is Gemini. And Gemini is a student, Sag is a teacher. So we're in this place where with the full moon, there's a culmination. We're getting to the end or a closing of a cycle of our thinking, right? Gemini is about thoughts, opinions, connection, communication. So we're coming to some type of conclusion about wherever we have Gemini in our charts or where we have Gemini in our houses. So Sagittarius is a sign that really deals with understanding the bigger picture and forming opinions. And Gemini gathers information and also is forming opinions at the same time. The difference is sometimes Gemini doesn't know what to solidify because they have too much information. And Sagittarius sometimes can have tunnel vision because they're so focused on their one point of view, their one inner truth, that they may miss out on other details. And so there's a balancing act here that we're trying to figure out for everybody, but especially if you have Gemini placements, or really if you have mutable placements, Gemini, Virgo, Sag, and Pisces, because there's a lot of mutable energy happening where Mars in Pisces, I think it's, well, not Mars in Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, excuse me. And then, there's that going on. But there's a narrowing down here where we're like, okay, we have a lot of thoughts, a lot of opinions, a lot of truths, but we have to stick with something, or we have to eventually pick something. And this is not to say that we need to like put ourselves in a box all the time, but like for things to come to life, we eventually have to narrow down or pick a path or choose a side. We're going to like stick to something and promise ourselves or commit to something like, yeah, I'm going to do that. Or look at where you always say you're going to commit to one thing, but you never do because of the fact that maybe you just can't make up your mind. You can't decide. So that's really what that's saying. All right. So now let's look into my Moonology deck before we go into the signs. All right. So Moonology, what's the energy for the full moon? We're going to do energy, challenge, and solution. What is the energy for the Gemini full moon? Full moon in Pisces. What's the challenge for the Gemini full moon? What is our challenge? Have faith in your dreams. I feel like I pulled that card for the last video I did. Not Sag. Or was it Sag? It might have been Sag. What's the solution? Oh. That went straight on the ground. Nothing will come of this situation. Wow. That's the solution. What is the solution? What is nothing will come of this situation? I mean, how is this the solution? I'm not picking that up right now. It just flew on the floor again. A time to give rather than to take. Can we clarify the challenge? Can we clarify the challenge? I'm not even sure if these cards were shuffled from the last time. Like these are like this in like coming out in the same exact way. I mean, it could be. Let me get one more to clarify. Nothing will come of the situation. I may need to use another deck. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon, eclipse. I'm still a little confused. I feel like I'm missing something. That's why I'm trying to get all the pieces together with another deck. Let's see. Nothing will come of the situation. Okay. Nothing will come of the situation. Breaking your dreams. Okay. So, I can't remember what was square Saturn. It was, or something was square Mars. What is Mars in? Sag? Is it Saturn square Mars? I think it's Saturn square Mars. Yeah. So Saturn in Sagittarius squaring Mars in Pisces, because we have two cards here about Pisces energy. So the first card we have here is the energy balance, spirituality, and practicality, full moon in Pisces. And then we have clarifying, have faith in your dreams, meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. So we got a full moon in Pisces and new moon in Pisces. So there's kind of like some friction here where it says nothing will come of this situation. It could be one of those things where without having that balance of taking action for your dreams, then nothing will happen. Like if you're just thinking and thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, but you're not actually doing anything to make it happen, then nothing will happen, right? Nothing will come of the situation as a solution. And there's like an element here of, it's not like giving up, but it's kind of like of surrendering, because Pisces energy is about surrender. And that's like the part that I feel like I'm still kind of missing with this message. Let's clarify with my everything deck. Nothing will come of the situation. We clarify nothing will come of the situation. What is this in reference to? Dreams. So we have 2 cards here about dreams. Have faith in your dreams, and then the dreams card came out. So it's kind of giving me, like, it's really giving me that there's a loss before there's a gain. Like there's something we're losing here first, instead of like there's like, it's kind of like a sacrifice. It feels like maybe like there's a loss first, and full moon sometimes can be a loss, you know. Full moons can sometimes symbolize a closing or a completion of a cycle that's leaving. So we have job loss or decrease. We have single. So for some of you, it's an end of a career path, or, you know, you're trying to make something happen from something that's just not happening, right? Whether that's like a job you're still trying to pursue a certain career, or a relationship that you're trying to really manifest or make happen, and it's just not working out for you, which is why it might be saying nothing will come of the situation, like something that you're trying to force and nothing is happening here. So it's also kind of giving me that, right, the challenge is having faith in your dreams. This is in the challenge position. But sometimes the way that our dreams manifest is not the way we want them to or how we expect them to. And with this energy of making space for some new answers or some new insights and clarity, a lot of us are in this position right now where we're trying to make something happen or come to fruition in one way. You know, like we're not trying multiple things. We're not like doing different. We're not being flexible. We're not being adaptable. Or we just have like one singular dream that we're focused on. Like we're putting all our eggs in one basket, right? And that's kind of what I feel like is happening for a lot of us. And so we're in this place where we might start to get envious of other people and what they have going on. But, you know, we don't know what all they've tried or what all they've done. Like maybe we're not that we're not trying hard enough. Like maybe we need to work smarter, not harder. Like are we really allowing ourselves to be open-minded to other answers, other opinions, other solutions to things? That's kind of like what I'm getting from it, especially with Gemini. All right, anything else here? Let's see. Adjustments are required. Adjustments and surrender, I feel like. So it's like if one thing is not working, like, are you willing to give up that way you're approaching it? Like, are you willing to surrender that? If that one relationship isn't working out, that one friendship, if it's just not, and you're trying to somehow pull pieces together to figure out how to make it work, are you willing to surrender that and be open to either new solutions or a new thing altogether? Surrender to the divine. This is the full moon card. So there is an element here of surrendering, and surrendering does not mean like actively looking or searching or seeking. It means allowing things to come to you. So if you're not open enough to try something else or to be open for something else to come to you, then you may just be fighting a losing battle. Adjustments are required. So it could be one of those situations where there's excuses for like why you cannot give up or why you cannot change paths or why you can't do something different. But it's saying that there's a situation that nothing is going to come from it. Not the way you're doing it, not the way you're trying to approach it, right? And the only way to figure out how to solve it or let it resolve is to accept that maybe it's just not working where you're at or how you're doing it. Or maybe you don't have to do anything, you know? Sometimes we think we need to do something to make it work. And the less we do, the better. So let's see what we have to surrender with this full moon here. I think I'm gonna break this up into categories. Let's do fixed, mutable, and cardinal. So let's do one card or I might do two each. Let's do one card first for fixed signs for what they need to surrender. Let's do one card for mutables. Let's do one card for let's do one card for cardinals. This was the one that tried to come out for cardinals. Surrender, resentments. All right, so for the fixed signs, this is Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius placements. You can look at sun, moon, rising. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. Surrender defensiveness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. So again, this is a Gemini full moon. So with Gemini comes answers, comes questions, comes answers. And there may be people that are able to answer your questions. They may be able to help you, but not if you're defensive about it, right? So whatever it is that you are like figuring like, okay, I don't know what to do about this. I don't know where to go next. Or you're not quite an expert yet. You're like, I don't know what to do. Be open-minded and listen to what people are telling you. As well as like things people have said that offended you. And it could be offensive because there is some truth to that. Sometimes that's how that goes. And things could start to really click if you will just like not get so, uptight about it and just listen and be like, take what resonates or what you can work on and then leave the rest, right? Mutables, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. So surrender your attachment to results. This was kind of the overall message for everybody in a sense, but this is especially pertaining to you with this full moon. Again, the way that we get somewhere is not always the way that we expect and not always how we want it to go or how we think it should go. So if you're trying your best and something is just not working out or it's just not moving correctly, just let go of how you think it should all work out and how it should all unfold and when it should all unfold. And I know that's not easy, but it's easier than fighting up against something that doesn't seem to be working or moving in your favor. Now, for the cardinal signs, Capricorn, Cancer, Libra, and Aries. Surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in. Compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. This is an interesting one. This could be about, because full moon with communication, maybe there's some blockages here where you are afraid to get a little bit deeper with people. Maybe you keep things surface level, and this can be a full moon that is showing you that you can and you should get deeper with people. Just, stick to your boundaries as much as you can and like let go of your belief in scarcity. So there's a fear of losing people the more that they get to know the real you, right? So it's like you rather stay back and allow people to just kind of see you from afar so they don't get too close and start judging you. but then you don't really get to have that deeper level of intimacy with people. The universe is asking you to be open to the infinite nature of abundance. In this way, you can remove blocks in your life and succeed beyond your wildest dreams. This can also be applied to everybody, what I was saying earlier, where, being afraid to surrender one way of doing things or one thing altogether because you're like, I don't know if I'll get something better. I don't know, what's going to happen after this. Or because this is not working, like I don't, you're just afraid to let it go. But this can definitely be one of those moons where you decide mentally to let go of something that just doesn't seem to be bearing fruit. Nothing is coming from the situation. Nothing's happening. It's stagnant, or, the answers are not coming. So you're just like, you know what? I'm going to just stop searching for the answers, right? Sometimes the best thing we can do is stop looking. Stop looking. I think that's really a big premise of what this full moon is teaching us, is to know when to stop looking. And a lot of times we feel like that means we're giving up. No, that's just reframe the statement. I'm not giving up. I'm surrendering. If I'm not finding the answers, if there's no solutions in sight right now, then I need to just stop looking for the solutions and let things come to me, because solutions can only come to you when you are listening, when you are receptive. And this is a time where answers are coming, but not always in the most obvious ways. It can be through people that you don't normally talk to. It can be through changing situations, in an unexpected way. All right. Any last messages for everybody during this full moon in Gemini? What else? Anything else? Any last messages for everybody during this full moon? Can we get some last bits of advice? Can we get some advice? I don't think I'm going to use this deck for advice, though. This is not really my advice deck. It's not my advice deck. Let's use this one. All right. Any last bits of advice? All right. This is my advice deck. What we got? So loud outside. Like, it's Sunday. Y'all not chilling? Advice for the full moon in Gemini for everybody. There's overthinking that comes with this full moon as well. The Star card in reverse. I feel like a lot of us are losing hope on something, or, we're feeling a little bit hopeless during this full moon. Can you clarify the Star, please? The Star card. Can you clarify the Star? It's kind of like, I heard, like, from the outside, things seem hopeless, right? From the outside. Can you clarify the High Priestess? The High Priestess, Eight of Swords. Yeah, like, so from the outside looking in, things can seem very hopeless when you're looking at it from a very surface level point of view. But when you go deeper inside and you can feel that something is going to work out, that's what is telling you to rely on. Like, things are going to get better. Things are going to change. But like on the outside, especially if you have Aquarius placements, things seem like hopeless. Like nothing is really happening. Things are not changing. You kind of feel trapped. Eight of Swords, or anxious. A lot of anxiety or overthinking. But this is a full moon to release that. And, getting out of your head and into your body, into your heart, and working through those emotions. Overthinking can be a way, like a defensive mechanism, where we're not allowing ourselves to feel fully because we're trying to think our way into feeling. And you cannot think your way into feeling. That is called intellectualizing your emotions. And so this is really about going within and seeing where we need to focus on feeling and not letting our mindsets get us all out of whack and out of control. Any other advice? Any other advice? Wheel of Fortune. Any other advice? Ten of Swords, the Hermit. I think a bit of disconnect can be good as well. There's a lot of overstimulation that's happening. Gemini is one that, just like Virgo, can be very overstimulated easily, ruled by Mercury, when there's a lot of mental pressure, a lot of ingesting things in the media. So we have here everything is fine card, also 10 of swords, and the hermit. So there's a disconnect that should happen where we step back. We're like, we're not going to keep on searching for answers. We're not going to keep on trying to form answers that are not there. If they're, sometimes no answer is an answer. Sometimes the answer is no also. So there could be a releasing of a mindset or of an idea that happens right now where the answer right now is just not yet or no, or it's like another way, right? And so we're there's an element of giving up here, like giving up, surrender. I don't know where else to go from here. And that is the place that I'm in. But that's where the place of peace comes, where like, I don't know. I don't have any answers here. I don't have any solutions. I'm not sure. Sometimes I don't know. There's a lot of questions I have in my life, and it's okay. Like every question does not need to be answered. So I think the real premise of there's been a lot of them in this video, but the real premise of the Gemini full moon is, are you okay with not having an answer? Like, how can you find peace and acceptance where you are without having an answer? Sometimes the answer doesn't come. Sometimes there's no closure. There's just questions and questions. But how can we find peace in that and knowing that, okay, I'm going to keep moving forward, or I'm going to create my own closure, or I'm going to, step away. I'm going to still end the cycle, even though like I feel like I still have things to say, or I still have questions I want answered. But if nothing is coming from that situation, right? What are you going to really gain once you find your answers, right? Sometimes we just want answers. We want answers, and when we get the answer, we don't like that answer, right? We don't like that answer, or we don't do anything with it, right? So a lot of you may think that you need an answer. Nothing will come of the situation. You may think you need the answer. You need the communication. You need the dots to connect in order for you to move forward. And this is a pivotal point where you're being shown like, maybe you're better off without the answer. You ever get a question answered and you're like, I would have rather not known? This could be one of those situations where you get the answer and it's not what you want. So, be glad sometimes you don't need to answer right now. Or maybe you don't get it. Or maybe you don't get it the way that you thought. So there's a piece that comes from not knowing, but actually having an inner knowing. Maybe you don't know on the outside, but on the inside, you already know what the truth is. You already know what you're meant to do, what you have to do, or you know the answer, right? But it's not what you want to hear, so you're not listening. And that's for everybody, especially Geminis, okay? So instead of actively seeking answers, go within and ask yourself, 1, do you really want to know the answer? 2, if you get the answer, what are you going to do about it? 3, if it's not the answer you want to hear, what you going to do about it? Which most answers in life are not the ones we want to hear, because they do require some type of adjustment or some type of effort or some type of, flexibility, adaptability. But this is what that full moon is teaching us. So thanks, guys, for watching. If this resonated for you, please let me know down in the comments down below. Don't forget to check out the Etsy shop for more merchandise. I am at Tarot by Bronx and Mind Body Bronx on everything.